Lumabas ka sa kwarto mo, nasa lansangan ang kwento ng mundo. Halika't magpaaraw, matutong tumakbo. Nang lumakas ang tuhod, tumigas ang buto. Magkakasama tayo, magkakampi sila, magpapakitang gilas sa ginuhit na linya. Huwag palampasin ang kahit na isa. Talasan ang iyong isip, mata at tainga. Sumusugod, umiiwas, yumuyukot, umaatras, lumulusot, umiilag, tumitsyempo, lumiliyak, lalampasan bawat linya. Tayo, kalaban sila, basta't tayo'y magkakasama. Sigurado ang saya-saya. One for all tayo, all for one sila. Sisingit, lumalansing, kumakarera. Basta't kalkulado ang galaw ng iba. Di tayo matatalo, di tayo matutumba. Sumusugod, umiiwas, yumuyukot, umaatras, lumulusot, umiilag, tumitsyempo, lumiliyak, lalampasan bawat linya. Tayo, kalaban sila, basta't tayo'y magkakasama. Sigurado ang saya-saya. Halika, magpaaraw, matutong tumakbo. Nang lumakas ang tuhod, tumigas ang buto. Sumusugod, umiiwas, yumuyukot, umaatras, lumulusot, umiilag, tumitsyempo, lumiliyak, lalampasan bawat linya. Tayo, kalaban sila, basta't tayo'y magkakasama. Sigurado ang saya-saya. Patintero tayo. Taguan. Umikip ako't pagmulat, kalaro ko'y naglaho, pati hininga ay tinago, upang di ko mahanap. Kahit naliwanag ang buwan, laging may sulok sa dilim. Magtatago ka roon ng palihim, hanggang matagpuan ako ang taya. Hanap, kaibigan nawawala, kampi ko ang buwan. na nga kita, susulpot ang nagsilaho. Umpisa na ng bagong laro, ang pipikit. Ikaw nang taya. Hanap, kaibigang nawawala. Ituturo ng buwang maliwanag aming pinagtataguan. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, magtago na kayo. Wala sa harap, wala sa likod, handa na ba kayo? Isa, dalawa, tatlo, magtago na kayo. Wala sa harap, wala sa likod, eto na ako. Ituturo na buwang maliwanag aming pinagtataguan. Tago-taguan, ikaw nang taya, kaibigang nawawala. Ituturo na buwang maliwanag, isa yan ang tago-taguan. Tago-tago-taguan, oh, oh, oh. Tago-tago-taguan.
Tawagin ang mga bata, maglaro sa kalsada. 2, 3, 4 o 5 ay pwedeng-pwede na.
Kumuhit ng bilog sa lupa, kumuha ng lata at ilagay ang lata sa gitna. At ang mato'y handa na.
At mula sa bilog at latang mga 6 na pulgada, kumuhit ng linya at doon pagulin ang lata sa gitna.
Ngunit teka muna, kailangang may taya. Kunin ang tsinelas at ihagi sa linya ang pinakamalayo.
Ang siyang magiging taya.
Tara na't magtumbang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino. Buhayin ang larong katutubo. Tuklasin at muling ituro.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino. Pag tinamaan ang lata at hindi ito natumba, humanda na at hahabulin ka. Kaya tumakbo na.
Mato'y dapat mabawi at huwag papahuli. Mag-ingat at baka abutin ka. At ikaw naman ang taya.
Tara na't magtumbang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino. Buhayin ang larong katutubo. Tuklasin at muling ituro.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino.
Sa mga bagong bata,
Physical activity in all its forms can help young people to flourish, but it's difficult to know how active each child is, if they're making progress, and most importantly, whether they're enjoying it. MyMove is a groundbreaking activity monitoring app for schools that allows teachers, parents, and coaches to support young people in making physical activity a regular part of their lives. It draws upon years of research into what makes children stay active. Mia's school use MyMove. Every day she uses the app to log her physical activity, including PE lessons, Sunday morning football, street dance, and skateboarding. For each activity, she records the duration, setting, and how it made her feel. Over time, this builds a picture of Mia's activity profile. Her PE teacher, Mr. Thomas, can monitor Mia's data, as well as the activity levels of other students in the school. This allows him to review the impact of the school's practice and provide targeted support where needed. Mr. Thomas can then use the data to support students and have conversations with the young people, parents, and other teachers. Being part of the MyMove community gives you access to regular activity summaries, research articles, online courses, and opportunities to connect with other schools. Around the world, there is growing concern that young people are becoming increasingly inactive. MyMove gives us the data that will help change that and encourage all young people to develop a physical activity habit that will last them a lifetime. Get your school moving. Visit mymoveapp.com.
Lord of wisdom, source of intelligence, we welcome you to this auspicious gathering, an august moment for the pursuit of knowledge that is offered for the glory of your name. We do not wish to ask you more than just you joining us today, but we look forward to your heavenly grace to amplify the desire for truth, to look up for and become prudent to learning. Keep us grounded in your love and mercy as we traverse a challenging path to keeping the inclination of understanding you and your most awe-inspiring creation. Be with us, O Lord, and descend your Spirit on us to maintain an earnest desire for knowledge, truth, and understanding you, the guide of the wise, the stronghold of the learned. This we ask through Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Okay. All right. Of course, another thrilling Saturday to all. Once again, welcome to our professional learning community buddies here in the Philippines and around the globe. This is Coach JR Viterbo, your 1PhysEd.Ph servant, bringing the 94th episode of 1PhysEd.Ph. Today is another journey for us as we reach, of course, our 94th series. And because of that, I would like to announce as early as now that we are going to enter into another series, and that's of course the featured PE teachers series that will run from this month September until November. So of course, just to give you an overview what will be happening in this series, of course there will be webinars that in partnership of course with SharpsNFlatsED. Of course, they will be our speaker for the month of September. Come October and November, we're going to have some talk show, all right? We're going to be interviewing some of the known names in Philippine physical education so that it can serve as an inspiration for all on how are we going to, of course, make or do our best in performing our duties as physical education teachers. So hopefully that every Saturday, yeah, whether kayo ay nasa Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao, you will be with us so that we as a community can learn from the stories, the topics that we're going to be witnessing for this series. And of course, because of that, okay, I just want to have some, just recall ano bang nangyari sa atin ngayong linggo na to. Of course, for the PE teachers, for me as as one of PE teachers serving the community, of course, I made a chance to meet some of the representative during for the coming national summit of the online sports leadership program in Palawan City. Excuse me. Of course, whenever we talk with people with the same passion, with the same kind of mentality, we learn from their stories. And ito nga po, para sa mga hindi pa nakaka-join ng online sports leadership program, there are 8 batches. Nangyari yan from 2020, from 2022 hanggang 8 batch, first up to the 8 batch. And this coming October 20 to 22 magagather ang mga, of course, participants from different batches, and we're gonna have the national summit in Palawan. Kaya naman, of course, kayo na mga nanonood ngayon, hopefully you'll be able to attend this kind of activity, because again, sports is one of the biggest medium that we are using in physical education. Another thing, of course, I was able to meet some of our partners for the 2022 National PE Teachers Convention. We're in Baguio City this coming December 1 to 3. And of course, the registration of that will be happening this coming week. Kaya naman, of course, I'm very excited because for the past 2 years, we don't have an on-site or in-person activity. Tayo mga PE teachers, a gathering. But hopefully that this opportunity makasama kayo, whether you are a PE teacher, an administrator, or let's say you are just a BPE student or undergraduate student, you will be able to join, because one thing is certain, you will be benefiting from this convention. So accept lang natin, may mga sumasali pa tayong mga participants. Ayan. And last thing, of course, isa sa mga nakikita natin through social media na mainit na pinag-uusapan this week, ang DepEd Order number 40. Ano ba to? Of course, just to sum it up, it's an instruction, of course, for the governing body in education here in the country regarding extracurricular activities, sa ating mga schools. We know that as PE teachers, marami sa atin ng mga coaches, dance masters, we do extracurricular activities sa school. We facilitate, and because of that, naging mainit na usapin itong bagay na to sa mga nakaraang linggo. But hopefully, I think isa sa mga nabasa ko lately for 2 days ago is that there will be a comprehensive guidelines regarding this, because sports, dance troupe, yan yung ating mga ilang extracurriculars, of course, sa mga schools. What might happen or what may be the progress kung sakali nga na hindi pwede ang mga extracurricular activities para sa darating na taon. And with that, of course, it's our pleasure to serve the Philippine PhysEd community by providing professional development training. Imagine, we have already reached our 94th episode. Yes, this can only be possible with the continuous support of this community to get relevant and meaningful professional development training. Saturdays becomes more exciting for us because we know that this kind of program can make a difference as we continue facing the challenges and demands of our profession. Diba? And you heard the word professional learning community. Yes, you heard it right. 1PhysEd.Ph, professional development learning community, is an idea in order to feature teachers who are showing excellence and of course best practices in their respective organizations, and we are trying to invite them so that the other teachers can learn from their practices. So pasensya na po, medyo inuubo ako, but negative ako, kayo mag-alala. Medyo meron lang tayong cough ng onti ngayon. But just to go back to what we are doing again, we know that tayo, as PE teachers, we have best practices. And I just remember these words from Dr. Fabela of Philippine Normal University. She's saying that if you know something that can help other teachers, your fellow PE teachers, it's best to share that. When? Now. Why? Because of course, di ba? Yan ang dapat nating magandang maging practice. Sharing of best practices in order for other teachers to empower themselves and of course to bring the best for the students. Ayaw naman natin na just for example, ang mga taga Batangas lang ay ang magagaling na mga bata sa PE. Of course, in order for us to have healthy and fit citizens, dapat buong bansa at tayong mga PE teachers, we have this, mandate and tayo yung merong first contact sa mga bata in order for them to develop habit in maintaining active and healthy lifestyle. Kaya po, if you would like to be featured here sa ating every Saturday session, hanapan po natin, maybe hindi na po ngayon 2022, by 2023, ano man yan, dance, sports, any topic related to physical education, message lang po and hopefully kayo naman ang makasama namin. That's why we believe that you can also be one of our guests who can conquer the stage of 1PhysEd.Ph to inspire our fellow teachers. That's why we are inviting you to reach us and be our speaker here in 1PhysEd.Ph. And again, just message me if you are, or message our Facebook page so that we can discuss about it. At this juncture, welcome to all our participants for this afternoon. We are here in 1PhysEd.Ph Zoom meeting room and we are streaming live via 1PhysEd.Ph YouTube channel. And because of that, hindi natin papalagpasin na batian ng ating mga kaibigan. Maraming nagpakilala kanina. And of course, magandang hapon sa lahat ng nasa Zoom. And I think, hindi lang pang Pilipinas ulit ang hapon na ito dahil all the way from Saudi Arabia, magandang hapon ulit, Miss Jocelyn Gallegos, isa sa ating talagang kahit napakalayo ng distansya, nandito pa rin siya sa hapon na to. Magandang hapon, Miss Jocelyn, and sa ating pang mga kaibigan, we have others, from here via Zoom, meron din tayo from Northern Samar, si Miss Shona, lagi din natin nakakasama yan. Yan, meron din tayo from Northern Samar din. Daming taga Samar, si Sir Lito, magandang hapon. And of course, we have, I think may nag-inquire sa akin isang prof, na talagang a-attend yata sila or ang kanilang mga students for this episode, Tama nga, University UB, tama ako, University of Baguio, magandang hapon, Angelica, and welcome. And ito, hindi talaga nawawala. Almost all Saturdays of the year nandito siya as much as possible. Siyempre, Sir July Baro, ang ating isang dance researcher, magandang hapon. And sa ating mga kaibigan naman via YouTube, magandang hapon sa inyo lahat dyan, all the way from Aklan, from Panay College of Science and Technology, Kalibo, Aklan, Miss Rosel Bautista. Meron ba dito from Cavite State University, CCAT Campus, si Melita Hernandez, si Miss Melita. And all the way from Iloilo, si Julie Rose Abrea. So magandang hapon po, and just one request for everyone, if you want to inspire other people, just kindly share our episode for this afternoon so that they can benefit sa topic ng ating mga speakers sa hapon na ito. Yan. And of course, hindi ko napapatagalin dahil alam naman natin ang purpose dito ay para matuto. So allow me to introduce our speakers for this webinar series. Okay, let me introduce. She had our first speaker. She already have a 27 years of teaching and leadership experience in the nursery to high school music classes, private and international schools in the Philippines and overseas. 10 years international baccalaureate training and practices for primary to middle school curriculum development and instruction. Resource speaker and consultant on teachers' professional development in the areas of early years, music, movement, and literacy, curriculum design, and alignment with the teaching practices and assessments. Of course, she is Teacher Z, okay? Teacher Zareen Literte, or we can call her Teacher Z. Our next speaker, of course, began her teaching career in public school back in 2002 in her province. She became a common instructor and later transferred to De La Salle Santiago Sobel School. She taught music, arts, and physical education in the early years for 7 years before moving to upper grades That's grade 4, 5, and 6. She has been advocating the use of technology in her physical education classes by using the CISO Learning Journal, Flipgrid applications, connecting with authors via Skype with author programs and Skype-a-thon events. She's also a Google Certified Educator 1 and 2, Flipgrid Ambassador, CISO Certified Educator, and a Microsoft Certified Educator. She has been the technology mentor for her colleagues, yes, in her school, and volunteers to train and organize professional development sessions to teachers in the Philippines through SharpsNFlatsED organization and 1PhysEd.Ph group. So I'll not take this long because I'm really excited to have our speakers for this afternoon until the whole Saturdays of this September. Let's all welcome Miss Zareen and Miss Riza. We can call them Teacher Z and Miss RJ. Good afternoon to our speakers for this afternoon. Pasensya na, medyo madami sinasabi at inuubo, but I am healthy. All right, okay. Wow. Miss RJ, of course, before you start, how did you prepare for this webinar series? Also you, Teacher Z.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Maayong hapon sa tanan. Magandang hapon. For those who are from Visayas, I'm from Visayas as well. I'm a graduate of West Visayas State University, proud Hiligaynon, proud Ilongga, and proud Antequeña. So I'm with Teacher C, excited to share with you what we've learned with skills acquisition, anything, music, art, PE, name it, will help you. Will help you with it. So this is Teacher C. We've prepared me. How did I prepare? Of course, you go through self-reflection. So as a teacher, kailangan talaga nagre-reflect ka. Ano yung magandang nangyari? Ano yung pwede pang i-improve? Ano yung pwedeng i-share na makakatulong sa lahat ng teachers, hindi lang sa sarili nating schools, but in all the other schools, because skills, it's a universal need or a universal fact that everyone in the world will be performing skills. So, hindi lang siya in Manila, hindi lang NCR, iba-ibang context, but everyone uses skills. Lahat tayo gumagamit nun, from the early years up to old age. Walang hindi gumagamit ng skill. Yes. The mere fact na nagsasalita ka, umuupo ka, nakakatayo ka, naglalakad ka, that's already a skill. So, hihimay-himayin natin how that skill makes our life easier, the teacher's life easier in sharing. Because in the context of teaching, ibang-iba siya. Kasi ituturo mo siya. They will not just be forming it. You actually have to
transferring.
Yes, transfer. Yeah. Yes. Hindi porket ang bata natuto maglakad, hahayaan mo na lang siya. Kailangan ng support nun. So same with us. Tayong adult, some of us mahilig mag-workout, pero may mga workout na hindi mo alam, 'di ba? So kailangan mo ng tulong. And those are skills na kailangan nating i-acquire. How about you, Teacher C?
I guess I agree with you, and having opportunities like this gives us time also to go back and reflect, like best teaching practices. I'm sure along the way, lahat tayo we've made mistakes in the past and we've learned a lot. So I guess for this afternoon, we'll be sharing mostly not really what we have studied in college or what we have read in researches, but more of the actual. Application in the classroom.
Yes, and definitely, okay, as what we're talking about, kanina, is that napakalaking impact at the early beginning of an individual, the foundation of the movements, if those foundation movements will be, strengthened, the better that they can perform complex skills soon. And because of that, I'll not take this long. The floor is yours sa ating mga featured PE teachers for this afternoon, Miss RJ and Teachers.
Okay, I guess we'll start the
presentation now. This is not a formal presentation. Kailangan you have to participate because just like in class, kailangan may feedback from the students. Kailangan meron kaming makuha from you, meron kayong makukuha from us because learning is not sage on stage anymore. Lahat yan, lahat tayo, we are part of the learning. Hindi pwedeng you will learn from us, but us will not be learning from you. So it's a complementary relationship. So I hope lahat kayo magjo-join, magta-try na mag-participate kahit sa chat or kung saan pa man yan.
Okay, this is skills acquisition. Will be a series for a month. So this will cover the entire process from the beginning of how do we acquire skills up to the time we're ready to evaluate the skill and move further. So it's a complete cycle. So I hope you can join us for this entire month. We will be featuring a lot of examples from our practices in the classroom. Okay, so I guess we're ready to start. And just like how we do it in our face-to-face workshops, we're going to be activating our body and the mind through movements. So we will be asking you to join us as we move to a music. Let the entire part of our body move. Okay, are we ready to do this?
Don't worry, this is not
Yes, Teacher Z, Miss RJ, ready. Pwedeng mag-react reaction sign kung ready na ang ating mga participants. So, si Miss Jocelyn from Saudi pa yan. Ready ang mga taga-Saudi.
Ready. Okay. The cameras are turned off. Sige. You can turn on your camera if you like.
They may turn on. They are allowed now to turn on.
Okay, when you're ready. Okay, let's try. This is music and movement. Okay, Miss RJ.
Ang galing naman ni Miss Jocelyn.
Galing.
2 thumbs up.
Oh, fun! We get to do the chair can-can. Sit in your seat and bounce your feet up and down to the beat. Bend your right knee and kick. Bend your left knee and kick. Cross kick, right, cross kick, left, right, left. Rainbow arms from left to right. Bounce your feet up and down as you rainbow your arms. Right heel up, left heel up, right, left. Open and close arms like an elevator door. Hands on the sides of your chair. Lift, sit, 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 lift, hold, sit, lift, hold, sit, lift, hold, sit, lift, hold, sit. Kick right leg out straight. Kick left leg out straight. Wave arms high in the air as you kick your legs. Take a bow.
Take a bow.
How did you find that activity? Everyone was so super active. Thank you so much. Okay. In the past practice in my classroom, which part did you find easy? Which part did you find challenging? Alin doon sa mga ginawa natin ang easy? Although lahat naman tayo adult na, so feeling ko easy naman lahat, no? Can I see a thumbs up or a heart. Kung easy siya. Oh, somebody is raising their hand. So si Miss Kylie. Miss Kylie, you want to share? Natuwa ba kayo sa ginawa natin? Sa pagpapakanka namin sa inyo?
Yes, little bit sweaty.
Maybe si Coach JR, kasi nag-join siya, baka gusto niya mag-share. What do you find challenging?
I think nakita natin doon sa skill may progression, di ba? We started at a very easy movements, bounce, until we're combining na our hands, no, together with the movement of our feet. So I think I feel there's a connection of that to what we're gonna be doing. If I'm not
Okay, so we want to model to you that every lesson or every time you start a skill, you activate the brain. Okay, because it's the brain that signals the different parts of the body how to move, how to perform a specific movement. So I hope you enjoyed that.
Okay, we're ready to start? Okay. Sharing screen.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I hope kahit napagod ang mga tuhod nyo sa pag-lift and hold natin at sa pag-upo, active pa rin tayo to participate. So let's start, teacher.
Okay, I think just like all of us, we always start with the why when we plan our daily lessons for the children. Why are we teaching, right? So I guess for today, when we design this webinar, we also ask this question: why are we doing this? Why do we need to teach skills to the kids? Why are we learning the skills ourselves? So we start with the purpose, right?
So what's the purpose?
What do you think?
What's the purpose? Could you share in the chat or share orally? Ano ang purpose? Why do we have to teach skill? So lahat tayo dito, we have our own idea bakit dapat ituro ang skill. Sige, mag-share tayo. Go ahead. Whether you're in YouTube or here in Zoom, type your answers in the chat or you may say it. It's sharing. So, hindi kami lang ang magsasalita. So, ano po ang purpose? Bakit tinuturo natin ang skill sa mga bata? Ano ang maidudulot nito? Bakit kailangan turuan sila ng skill? Para saan yon? Para ba may ma-perform lang sila? Para ba may maipakita lang sila? O para may magamit sila sa buhay nila? So, ano po ang inyong ideas about it? Kasi in my class, bakit ko siya tinuturo? Because I know it will prepare them for the succeeding skills. Because as they grow, the skill gets more complicated. So kung hindi natin sila tuturuan, yung success rate ng pag-perform nila ng skill, mababa. I'm sure na-observe nyo sa kids nyo. Pag hindi nila na-perform yung skill, anong kalimitang ginagawa? Di ba minsan ayaw sumali sa game? Ay, ayoko, hindi ako marunong yan. Ay, ayoko, baka madapa ako pag tumakbo ako. Ay, ayoko, hindi ko kayang talunin yan eh.
O sa music, ayoko, hindi ako kumakanta eh. Ayaw sa akin nung kanta. So immediately may mga ganon. So I guess on my end, pag hindi sila confident that they have the skill or at least they have developed a certain level of skill, the outlook in life, lahat ng valuing nila is also affected. Right? Bumababa yung self-esteem nila.
Yes.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you to Sir Espirito, to Casey, and sa YouTube din. Thank you to Sir Oliver, to Miss Julie, and to Miss Maxie to provide them the weapon that they can use in the future.
Okay, Teacher Apolonio Espirito, sabi niya, to realize the essence of skill so that they can use it and the importance of skills so that they acquire in the day-to-day living. Basically, it's our everyday life. Kahit nasabihin mong the brightest student and the student who has a unique need will still need what you call the functional skills.
Yes. Si Sir Oliver naman, skill helps young ones to accomplish the task easier. Exactly. Pag kaya ng bata i-perform ang skill, mas confident sila. So less failure. Although I encourage failure in my class because that really helps them in navigating the situation in the class or the problem solving skills. I mean, being able to experience failure or being able to feel that you cannot perform it yet. So yun ang pinaka-importante yung yet, yung mindset ng yet. Ngayon, di ko pa kaya, pero baka mamaya kaya ko na. So, naituturo nyo ba yun sa mga bata? Yung teacher, hindi ko po alam kasi yan Tapos, dinudugtungan natin ng hindi mo pa alam ngayon. Pero, aaralin natin para matututunan mo na. Tama ba ako, teachers? Ginagawa ba natin yun sa mga kids? Kasi I'm sure, ang dami nyo ring nakitang gaps sa skills ng mga bata since nag-pandemic, nag-online teaching tayo, nag-modular kayo. Tapos yung iba naman, hindi consistent yung online class. So, I'm sure, sa kaka-start lang ng klase, anong na-experience nyo? So, I'm sure, lahat ba dito ay public school teacher? Or meron tayong private school teachers?
Yes, Miss RJ, we also have BPE students, future PE teachers.
Yung mga BPE students, this can really help you. Yung real life, napakaswerte nyo BPE students kasi nauso ang webinar. So ngayon, hindi pa kayo nagtuturo, na-expose na kayo sa best PE teachers in the world. Hindi lang best PE teachers in the Philippines, in the world na talaga. So, you have different sets of ideas na, ay, ang galing nung speaker na yun. Ginawa niya yun sa class niya. Ma-adapt ko nga yun sa class ko. Gagawin ko nga yun. Try ko nga yun. So, I hope you develop that mindset na, bakit ko kailangan ituro yung teaching skill at bakit kailangan kung matuto sa ibang mga teachers. So, makakatulong yun sa inyo. Sa atin namang mga teachers na for a long time, huwag tayong magstay lang dun sa status ko na, ay, alam ko na yan, ayoko nang subukan yan, ito na yung gumana sa klase ko natuto naman yung mga estudyante ko, yung iba nga naging atleta pa. Kung ganun po yung mindset natin, hindi ko naman po kayo ginajudge. Hindi po ako nasa game ng judgmental, okay? Ano lang po tayo dito? We are just sharing things and if ma-realize yun ay, parang pwede rin naman pala talaga. So, let's try. Not for ourselves. Kasi tayo teacher tayo. So, ang mas kawawa yung students natin kasi sila pa lang yung piniprepare natin for their future. So, let's go to the next slide, Teacher C.
I think clear yung purpose for all of us. Let's move on. I think after this, ayaw na niyang gumana.
After this, ayaw na niya. Stop na daw tayo.
Because we're talking about skill acquisition. So I think we will present this to you through in our own words, going beyond the definition of Merriam-Webster and all the dictionaries, and then we'll present to you specific examples and how this is happening in our class. Acquisition of skill.
It's a voluntary control of movement. So,
ano ba yung voluntary control?
Yung voluntary
Lalim
control,
naman nun.
Yan yung pag ang bata, kunwari, kailangan niyang magdampot ng isang bagay. Di ba yung, I'm sure may mga parents tayo dito, motor reflex ang tawag doon sa kids. Yung matik na hahawakan, dadalhin yung kamay sa mouth or hahawakan yung paa. Yung, I think nakita nyo yun yung or na-observe niyo sa mga pamangkin niyo or what na yung nagbi-baby, happy baby position, yung baby nakahawak sa paa niya tapos nagro-roll side to side. Happy baby ang tawag doon sa yoga. Pero in real life, that's a motor reflex ng mga bata. Or kunwari, yung voluntary control of movements, yung baby, di ba, yung napaka-excited si mami na, uy, tumaba na yung anak ko. That's a voluntary control of movements po. So, dun nagsisimula at hindi tayo titigilan dun dahil dumapa na yung baby mo tapos excited ka na kasi ang next milestone, uupo na yan, tapos tatayo na, tapos mag-walk na. Pagdating dun sa walking, dun
Doon na
ang
nagsimula.
doon ang role natin, teachers. Pag nag-walk may mga anak natin, teachers or parents man, so tayong mga PE teachers, kung may mga kakilala tayong parents, encourage natin sila. Huwag hayaan lang na, ay marunong na maglakad ang anak ko, tumatakbo na yan, okay na yan teacher. Ay hindi po, wag po kayong pumayag. Sabihin niyo po na bigyan pa rin ng chance na maglaro, lalo ngayon, 2 years silang hindi lumabas ng bahay, di ba? Nakita niyo na ba kung gaano ka, sorry for the word that I'm going to use, lampa yung mga anak natin sa classroom. Hindi ko naman sila sinisisi kasi it's not our fault. It's the fault of the situation that happened na may role tayo to bridge that gap. So wag nating hayaang tuluyan silang malampa. Kaya kayo nandito ngayon. And I'm very happy na yung commitment nyo to join us ngayong hapon kahit na Saturday, ang sarap sanang humiga-higa lang, tapos mag-chill-chill lang kasi syempre ang haba ng weekday pag nagtuturo, 'di ba? Pero believe ako sa inyo kasi nandito kayo to join us. So voluntary control of movements, kung ano yung expected na movement na dapat gawin ng bata, nagagawa niya. So, anong kasunod nun, Teacher C?
Ito na. Siyempre, pag naglakad na, usually may makikita kayo dyan na, naku, bakit nadadapa yung anak ko? Ano nangyari? Or bakit yung paglakad niya iba, nakatiptoe siya? So, ito na. O, di ba?
Ito na, ayaw na magpakita, Teacher C.
Ayaw naman. Sige.
So, merong motor skill problem. Pero itong motor skill problem, iba to sa iba to talaga sa may mga developmental delays. Ito talaga, although considered yun na motor skill problem, itong motor skill problem na pinag-uusapan natin dito, sige, ko na lang, generalize. Although, may mga experts talaga to talk about it, but in the experience of a teacher, ang motor skill problem na pinag-uusapan natin dito is kung marunong na ang bata sa simple skill, like lahat tayo alam natin kung ano yung fundamental motor skills. Dapat by age 6, kabisado na ng mga anak natin yan. Kabisado na ng lahat ng grade 1, lahat ng grade 2, lahat ng grade 3. Pag sinabi mong, takbo, alam nila. Pag sinabi mong, gumulong tayo, alam nila. Lakad tayo, jump tayo, or gallop tayo, or skip tayo. Although ang skip, complicated pa yan for a grade 1 or a 5-year-old. Pero kung si teacher magaling magturo at yung basic skills na needed para sa skip na yan ay naituro natin, kayang-kaya ng mga anak natin yan. Kasi I'm sure nakita niyo yan sa mga estudyante niyo, meron talaga tayong advanced student like, wow, nagagawa mo na yan. So ang motor skill problem ay isang part ng skill na kailangang isolve ni student para magawa niya yung isang particular skill.
Example?
Kunwari, magpapa-obstacle course ka. Ngayon, kung ang obstacle course mo ay dinagdagan mo ng jumping at hindi pa marunong mag-jump ang anak mo, ano ang gagawin nila? Titigil sila or dadaan na lang sa side. Nakita niyo yung mga videos na viral na kunwari nagpa-game tapos pagdating dun sa part na yon, umiwas yung bata. Yun ang motor skill problem. Hindi ma-solve ni bata kasi hindi niya alam ang appropriate skill or tamang skill na i-apply. At yan ang role nating mga teachers. Tutulungan natin sila how to solve that motor problem skill or motor skill problem.
Yeah, in the context naman of music, I'm sure not all of us plays the music, but somehow meron tayong mga MAPE teachers there who can play instruments. So sa context ng music, usually yung commonly encountered motor skill problem, yung pag kunyari sinabi mo sa student, switch chords, mag-switch tayo ng chords. Okay, di ba basic C, F, G, magpapalit sa gitara or sa piano, pero you will wonder they won't be able to do
or
it.
Sa lyre, teacher
Yes,
C.
kasi maraming layers na dapat i-address. There are still other skills that they need to learn bago nila magawa yun. It's not as automatic, madali yung parang C to G kahit sa ukulele. It's not gonna come easy. Kailangan we should be able to scaffold and then give them time to develop it bago pa lang mangyayari yung switching. Another common motor problem sa sa music is when you let students, for example, play on the lyre with both hands na magkaibang notes, or they play on the piano.
May ano dito, teacher, sino yung may drum and lyre course sa school nila? I'm sure makaka-relate kayo. Ako, lyre player ako nung grade 5 and grade 6 ako. Yan ang pinaka-nahirapan ako. Yung pagsabayin ang kanan at kaliwa sa pagtugtog.
Di ba? Common ano yan yung mga bata. Kaya hirap na hirap sila pag pinagsabay nila yung right and left nila. So yan yung mga example sa music.
Okay.
Sige,
ayan. And pag naturuan natin sila, of course, kung na-acquire nila yung skill na yun, they will be able to achieve a task or a goal. So, kung ang pinaka-end goal mo is maka-perform ng lahat ng locomotor skills, lahat ng manipulative skills, then, kayang-kaya ng bata. Kaya niyang mag-solve ng motor skill in a situation na given ni teacher or given sa daily life niya.
Okay, let's move on. So, more specific example in the area of motor skill problems sa PE.
Sa experience ko ngayon, since I'm teaching badminton, forehand service, nakita ko talaga na napakahina ng underhand skill ng mga anak ko. So, pagdating sa grip, okay sila, kaya nilang sundan. Pagdating sa swing, bago sila mag-hit ng shuttlecock at follow-through, nawala na yon. Nag-magic. Dumiretso na lang. Ang ginawa, nag-scoop na lang sila. Ito yung shuttlecock. Kunwari, ito yung shuttlecock. Nandito na lang yung racket. Wala na dito. Wala nang galing sa side. So, yan ang motor skill problem na na-observe ko sa class ko, which is understandable naman kasi hindi na-prepare yung underhand skill nila, which is a basic skill and prerequisite para sana maka-perform sila ng forehand service ng mas maayos. Sino po sa inyo ang nakapagturo na ng badminton sa class? Or naglalaro ng badminton? React lang po tayo, either a smiley or a thumbs up, okay na po yun. Kung wala naman pong experience dahil nag-pandemic ang class or walang equipment sa school, I understand po. Hello Philippines po ang ating reality.
Okay.
Si Teacher C naman ang mag-share sa music.
Ito sa music, kanina I mentioned about coordination and switching yung mga chords sa gitara or any string instrument. Ito yung, for me, in my teaching experience, whether in the classroom or in a private instrument lessons, ito yung most commonly challenging part sa mga students na kahit siguro sa classroom masasabi niya, hindi talaga siya makabasa ng kahit solmi-solmi lang, hindi niya magawa yun. And then the same, if you try to investigate and ask the parents, nakakabasa ba yan ng maayos? Usually, they are connected. Students who can't read the notes on the staff, usually, pagdating sa text, medyo may kahirapan din sila in the different areas. Either nababaligtad nila or hindi nila masabi ng maayos. So, ganun siya. So, usually, we address the problem, yung motor skill problem, by practicing the kids with the sounds. We are highly focused on the auditory part of the body. Yung parang yan yung kailangan natin i-develop. Kaya nga ang daming binibigay na phonics, sige, o sound out, yung sound out each letter, and then you will combine, ganun yung mga exercises, or feed them with a lot of worksheets. Then after becoming familiar with the sight words, alam na nila magbasa. So now, yun na. Doon na nagmumula yung mga problem. Kasi in the long run, hindi pala nila alam basahin. Na-memorize lang nila yung itsura, yung tunog, pero hindi nila nababasa ng maayos. So the same. So how do we do this? Usually, yan. I will present this in 3 layers, just like how we do backward planning. Pag hindi nakakabasa yung bata, what I do is approach it and look look at the gross motor. Kasi pag usually yan, pag talagang proven na to in my practice, pag very weak yung reading niya, when you look at the gross motor, these are the kids na hirap man lang makabalance, hirap man lang hindi man lang maka-differentiate na skip and hop, tapos hindi maka-stand on one foot. So it's by evidence na pag weak yung gross motor, the rest of the motor skills will follow. Kasi ito yung core mo eh. Dito ka magmumula sa bigger muscles and then tsaka pababa ng pababa. So without the integration of the three, hindi mangyayari yung good reading. If we're focused too much on the auditory and the ocular is the vision, the ability of the parang child to see, to decode and process the information. But kung wala rin siyang integration with the fine motor and the gross motor, wala rin. Because it takes the integration, motor integration for someone to read fluently.
Tama yan, Teacher C. Kasi sa PE, lagi namin sinasabi yan. Lalo na pag sport, na kailangan lagi ang eye-hand coordination. In writing, the kids also need to apply eye-hand coordination. Pag nagpa-trace si teacher sa classroom, trace tayo ng alphabet. Di ba pinapagawa natin yung teachers? Mga early years teachers dito, magpapauwi ng module, magpapa-trace. Naku, ang batang ito, yung line, hindi man lang masakto-sakto dun sa line. Pag hindi po masakto-sakto sa line, ibig sabihin po nun, the fine motor skills or the finger muscles ay hindi well-developed. Bakit po? Dahil mahina ang gross motor skills. Ang development ng motor skills ng mga bata, it starts from the gross. Pag sobrang strong na yung gross, follow na si fine, and then ocular. Kaya po yung mga practices natin before na pinapag-grip na sila ng pencil without gross motor skills activity na binibigay or opportunities to move man lang, kawawa po sila. We are subjecting our students to go through that stage na parang nahihirapan sila. When in fact, we can help them navigate writing skills na ready sila because we've given them loads of opportunities, maraming oportunidad na gumalaw, tumakbo at mag-develop ng gross motor skills nila. So let's go to.
I will be giving you specific example in performance videos that I do in my classes to address the problems of kids in terms of reading, or it's not a problem to prepare them to read, to prepare them to integrate the different motor.
Tama yan,
skills. So I will give you an example and then explain it to you later.
Get it right. Number 5. Na ganun. Hurrah! Hurrah! The hands go marching. Run, run, run.
Okay. So yun yung so that's an example of how I prepare and try to address any foreseen challenge in the area of learning music. For me, my take on this is like most of the time we try to approach the problem by looking at the surface. Parang we work too much on the surface. Parang pumunta ka sa dentista. Masakit ang ngipin ko, Dok. Sige, pastahan kita. But at the end of the day, kung meron talagang problem, kahit pastahan ka ng makapal dyan, o pabalik-balik ka lang, lagi ka na lang magpapasta, you have the best pasta feelings, tapos after nun, hindi pa rin gagaling. Masakit pa rin yung ngipin mo. Why? Because we haven't addressed the root of the problem.
Yes.
And most of the time, yung sa learning, sa literacy, the root of the problem will always start from the underdeveloped motor skills which you should have happened during the early years.
Tama. The early years, that's the window of opportunity talaga. all early years theorists, Maria Montessori, si Piaget, Skinner, lahat sila. They would always lead us to give opportunities for the kids to move, to learn, because in that space, the brain can easily grasp what we want them to perform or do. So, hindi naman blank slate ang mga bata eh. Of course, there's a specific genetic factor, nature, nurture, yan. So, it's up to us. We are the teachers are the nurturers. So, we play a big role talaga. Agree, teachers? Pa-thumbs up naman if you agree that the teachers have a part in the nurturing of the skills or skill development of our students. And the next one would be,
we move on to the different stages of learning a skill. So now that we know kung ano yung motor acquisition, ano yung motor skill problem, we move. Ano nga ba yung stages? Saan pa nagsisimula? Okay.
So it starts with the cognitive, knowing what to do. So initial attempts of the kids, yan yung nakikita niyo yung nagsistart mag-make steps yung mga babies. That's a cognitive stage. And then associative stage, it's the how to do. So ito, dumadating na to in their first grade, second grade, third grade, until sixth grade. They are now in the associative. So aware na sila. They're aware what to do, how to do. Like if we ask them, okay, let's run all the way to the end of the gym. Yan, associative yan. There's a conscious effort to do a running skill. And then the last one is the autonomous or the do-it stage. So meron tayong mga kids talaga na Jollibee, pabibo. Yung skill nila is advanced. So it's automatic, it's habitual na for them. But this one, we can expect this with the locomotor skills, fundamental motor skills. Kayang-kaya ng mga anak natin. But when it comes to sports, this one really needs to be taught, how do I say it? Paano nga ba yung teacher? Yung rigidly, yung skill sa sport. Kaya, di ba, yung pag sinasabi ng mga students natin, teacher, hindi ko pa po nagawa yung assignment ko kasi nag-training po ako. That training prepares them for the do-it stage. Because the training that they experience teaches them the cognitive, then leads them to associative until they are able to perform in a particular game. Mapa-basketball man yan, table tennis, badminton, whatever it is. Ano po bang mga sports ang tinuturo ninyo sa mga kids nyo na nai-experience nila itong stages of learning a skill? Sige po, patype po sa chat, whether you're in YouTube or in Zoom. Ano pong mga sports ang na-experience na, yung mga students ko ngayon nasa cognitive stage. Yung mga students ko ngayon nasa associative stage. Pwede naman po yung past experience because some of you may just have started with your face-to-face classes or hybrid classes or full online classes. So in my case, I'm hybrid. I do face-to-face in the morning and online in the afternoon. So na-experience ko na itong 3 stages of skills.
Okay.
Of learning a skill.
You might find this still very, very commonly discussed and found on webinars. But today, I think I would like you to really apply. We will show you and really see through your eyes. We would like you to participate on how this is happening in our classroom, stages of a learning skill.
Yes. Okay. Wait lang, Teacher Sia. So, here's the best example of how my students and I was able to realize na, nasa cognitive stage pa lang yung mga anak ko or nasa associative stage na si ganito or wow, do it stage na yung student kong to. So, in this activity, Teacher Sia, ano pong gagawin nila?
So in this activity, as you can see, this is an example of a portfolio, a video, and then with the students making an evaluation of their performance. So what we'd like you to do is we have 4 students here. We will be asking you, who do you think is in the cognitive phase and who do you think is in the associative phase already? So student 1 is saying my aim needs practice because the angle of me throwing is off sometimes.
Or the second one, student number 2, you can just type, I'll read everything first and then you can just type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. No more Slido, Teacher C.
Oh, we can do a Slido. There's a QR code there which you can use. Scan.
If you have another device. But
we'll finish reading because it's too tiny.
Too tiny. So student number 2, I was bad at aiming at first, but then I finally made the can fall down. And then I should practice more. So next time I will be better, even though it's just a game.
Student 3, when I notice, what I notice is that I mess up shots and I made shots. To make it, I had to have aim and use my eyes to see where I hit or where I throw it. And so I can be really good. I can practice at home.
Then student number 4, I noticed that whenever I tried hitting the can, sometimes I couldn't do it because of my bad aim. I should practice more to be able to consistently hit the can with correct aim and projection.
Okay, let's try this. I know you have your phone with you. We will be using Slido, so you can use the QR code or just type.
Just screen share first.
Let's see if this will work. I think it logged us out. Nag-log out siya.
The QR code in the Zoom that's being presented right now is working. So if you scan the one in the QR code,
Miss RJ,
yes.
Can you screen share again?
Yes, we'll do.
That they can scan. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Teacher life, sometimes it doesn't work right away, but now it does.
The QR code and then the login, the number, if you're going through the site.
When you scan the QR code, wait lang.
Let's see if it's working. There's 2.
It's a live quiz.
I will preset, ha? Wait lang, ha?
That's us.
Okay.
Okay, let's choose which. Do not click the Zoom. So you have to
let's try
share
again.
Screen first, then there. Then share. Present. There you go. Okay. How many students will we choose, Teacher C? 1 or 2? Depends.
You will be choosing, you can choose 1 or 2. It will allow for multiple.
Depends. It depends on you. Which student do you think showed associative phase or not? So I've actually voted. How about you? So there's 7 of us.
Others may vote via Zoom or via YouTube.
Yes, you can just type your answers in the chat. That's fine as well.
In the chat?
Or if you're in the YouTube, not yet. I don't see any votes yet.
Are you able to see participants?
Yeah, I saw it. I think it's just lagging teacher C. I wonder why it did not show the results.
Let's exit and let's check.
Ah, it's there. It's already here. Oh, you have to share your screen first. There. Share screen first in Zoom. There you go. Thank you, participants ang active. I'm so proud of everyone. There. So 46% ang nag-vote. Coach JR, that student number 2 is in... There. Ang galing. Thank you so much. Student 1, 15%. Student 2, 46%. Student 3, ties is student number 3 and student number 4.
Okay. Maybe we will share our answers, Miss RJ.
For student 1, I think...
my aim needs practice because the angle of me throwing is off sometimes.
Yes. Why it's associative? Because this student knows already, he's conscious that his aim, the angle of his aim is off. So that's why I tagged him as in the associative stage already, because he knows what to do already, how to throw at a certain angle to be able to hit the can. For the information of everyone, tumbang preso po yung nilalaro namin dito. So, same skill na kailangan may aiming, may throwing. So, yung anak kong to, yun ang na-realize niya, that kailangan i-improve yung angle.
So, in simple words, how do we know if the students are in an associative phase? In this specific example, if you notice, most of them or most of your kids in the classroom would say, I lack the practice. I'm very bad at aiming. These are the usual evaluation or comments that you're going to be hearing from them. But there are selective students who can really communicate specifically what is that thing that they need to improve in order to aim better. So if you look at these 4 students, student number 1 is able to specifically identify the angle as the one major point to improve.
Yes, that's right, teacher C.
And then student number 2 just said it's there by the aiming. Number 3 is the same, miss the shot. And then the last one has something to do with it has something to do with the projection.
Yes. So most of them naman were aware, teacher C. It's just that the others were very specific. And so let's move to our next part, which is knowing the stages of skill learning helps us teachers to improve our activities in class. Most of my students are still in the cognitive. So, more on cognitive muna yung activities natin, supporting that. If associative na, then we can do peer activities. So the best ones, or the do-it stage or the autonomous, can help the ones in the cognitive or associative stage. So let's proceed.
Yes, this is a point of reflection for all of us, that when we come and teach a certain group of students, we will always have different types of students of different skill levels. Okay, so yan lang. We move on. So how do we present the skill, knowing that we have transitioned to remote learning and now blended learning? So how do we do it? I am sure you're familiar with all of this, whole part, progressive part. We will no longer go through this, but instead we'll give you specific examples on how to use this, when do we use it,
yes,
which one is best for face-to-face, which one we think is better on remote
Yes,
learning.
Teacher C. And if you want a separate session for that part only, this one, because how to present a skill is actually a big needs also its own session. So we go to the next page, which is, here's a sample of the whole, the part, or the whole part, or the progressive. So most of what you will be seeing in our workshop are my experiences, or what I did in my class during the pandemic. So in this video that you're seeing, I'm teaching here the steps of the tinikling dance. I know you have your own way, your own strategy, but this could also help you. Or if you have a limited time to create your own material, just go hop into Sharps and Flats YouTube channel, so you can just grab and use and for your class reference. Go ahead, Teacher C.
Yeah, this is an example. Miss Risa specifically showed the students like the whole method and then the part method. So in this video is a combination. So in the channel, you'll be seeing the different parts as she teaches the different steps. So you can just have a look at it. We're not going to play this anymore.
Yes.
Okay, this one is in the context of early years. So which method do we use? I think for early years it becomes challenging because they're kids, they're ages 4, 5, 6. When you present a whole method, how do you do it? And who do you really address it to? So this is just an example of teaching early years in the context of integrating literacy and rhythm. Rhythm activity for the bear, huh? So the words are house, river. So you go house, river, following the sounds of the syllable. Okay, so this, as you can see, there's a visual here. We're going on a bear hunt. You have the words that were used in the story, and to be able to integrate the rhythm, it was made clear and explained, communicated to the parents. So my ally here, my best friend here, actually for early years are your parents. So make sure that given the video, given the poster or the visual, it's supported with an explanation, a demonstration on how they should be doing it.
Yes, because teachers say we know that teaching skill with a young child, you need all the sensory. You need to involve all their sensory, the visual, the oral, and the tactile. So for all of us teachers, our end goal is to teach a skill, and the more senses we use, the better they will acquire that particular skill.
Okay. We move on. This is another example of the progressive method. We seldom do this, I think, in the remote learning because this is tedious. What we often present the students and what I usually find online are the whole method because we are limited by time, by resources. We just do it the whole thing. We present the entire thing, how it looks like, then that's it. This one is an example wherein you will have to break down the demo video into different parts. Para siyang series. So when you show it to the kids, they will understand that they need to do one step at a time before they can actually learn to play the song. This is example only. I will be playing this. And change. I'll play it continuously like this. This is part 3 already. So this is just showing the students, the kids, just to how strum the rhythm patterns, complete with you as the one demonstrating and with all the visuals. Where will the strumming go with all the counting and the notation? Okay. Okay, next. Knowing that we know already the stages and the different approaches. The next question is, this is one of our favorites, is how do we scaffold it?
Yes.
During the pandemic, it's given that because we are limited by resources, we can't reach our students and we have limited time because we're having so many classes and things to do. The easiest way usually is just to film a video and then upload it to YouTube, right? So most of the time, we are using the sensory method, like in how to scaffold. You present the video and then the students will see all the physical, the audio, and all the elements that goes with it, right? During the face-to-face, we can just stand in front of the class and model it to them. This is what you call sensory. It involves everything, the eyes, the ears, right? Their entire body, right? But we should note that aside from the sensory, there's still other powerful and beneficial ways to scaffold to our kids, whether we do it face-to-face or online. And one of this is the graphic. So when we talk about graphics, we actually show the kids the mind maps. This one will help them like process like how they should be thinking and how they're gonna go through a certain thing. And then graphic organizers or anchor charts. I'm gonna be showing you specific examples later. And the last one is
interactive. So it's a collaborative learning. It's a think, pair, share. I think you all use this. Who's familiar here with Padlet or Flipgrid? Have you attended my session with Flipgrid last time with Coach JR as well in 1PhysEd? So I'm a big fan of Flipgrid, and a sample that we will be sharing with you uses the application Flipgrid that's now called Flip.
Okay, this is again an example of a video that Miss Risa did for teaching a specific movement. So in this video, you will see it's sensory. It doesn't have only the audio, but it scaffolded the different
the visuals, the exercises. Yes,
it's specific.
I'm sorry, participants, I was not able to inquire who's from grade school teachers or junior high school teachers, but although we teach different levels, skill acquisition is still needed in all of the stages of our students. So whether you use sensory, you use oral, you use tactile, the ones that we're sharing here with you, you may adapt it to your own needs. So you don't have to actually use it as I've used it, or you can just grab the example, then modify it to how you will apply it in your own situation.
How is this scaffolding? In most videos, we have the oral communication, we present it orally to our student. But sometimes we forget the students who are very highly visual, the text would highly help them scaffold, breaking down the different steps that they need to do instead of trying to recall what they heard.
Yes, so that's right, Teacher C. So this sample is in the associative phase of skill learning because they have that in their mind. They need to do Russian twist, so it helps them. Remember the keyword there a while ago, it's the conscious effort. So putting those words or exercises on their screens or in their plans, either written, kung walang available na device, pwede namang isulat sa bond paper or isulat sa plan or kahit saan man yan, or sa cartolina or sa Manila paper, whatever is the medium of instruction, that's acceptable as long as the skill is acquired by our students.
Hi, grade.
You can just watch that in
5 to 6
channel. Let's move on. This is an example of a graphic scaffolding. So this is a presentation of music. The concept is high and low. Usually, we are so focused on presenting the notes immediately to our kids, but let's not forget that it starts with helping them connect to the real world. So in this graphic poster, you'll see that it started with what is high and low in the real world, and then how is it on the stack on a printed material, and then how does it translate, or how would it translate when we actually play different instruments? Like this is a recorder, this is your high and low. Then when we play it on the piano, and then when we play it on the guitar, in such a way, our kids will be able to make sense that what they're doing is not limited to a note on the paper or on the blackboard or like that, or it's not limited to, oh, that's only for recorder. They will be able, you're giving them opportunities just through the graphic poster that you design, opportunities to connect the things that they are learning.
Yes.
Okay, this is another example of a graphic scaffolding wherein you're not really scaffolding a concept, but you're scaffolding the process of how do they practice. Because most of the time, this is very common. You practice this and then submit a performance task. But a lot of kids, the word practice itself is a very, very abstract word for them. They don't even know how to start. They don't even know their goals. So this is just an example of how I do it and how they go through each step. So they know they will maximize their time. They know what to focus on. And then you're helping the different skills develop, like the short and long-term memory. And then you will also address like possible problems, right?
Yes.
So it's very important.
Still scaffolded, right?
You will
Teacher C?
agree with me, even in PE, that the warm-up is an essential. Before you do anything, it will always start with a warm-up. So this is just a poster so that they will learn. Okay, this is another example of a scaffolded material that you could give your kids if you're talking about musical forms.
Yes.
Musical forms, usually what I've seen online is they represent it with the letters A, B, C. And then sometimes you can include the timeline. A lot of times our kids don't know how to listen yet. So we need to scaffold it through different ways. You represent it by letters, you represent it by images,
icons,
and then explicitly put the words or the movement that you would like them to perform to show the different parts. And then for those who really doesn't get it, then maybe the timeline, oh, when I play this YouTube video, 24 seconds, that's the end of part A. So I got it. In time, you will slowly remove each of the part, then the student will be able to understand what musical form is in music, in the context of composition, in the context of playing an instrument, in the context of dancing. Specifically for dancing, if you cannot show a live demonstration, then I think visuals, graphic posters like this will be helpful.
Yes, that's right, Teacher C. This activity is actually more complicated demonstration of skill acquisition already, because they have to know the form of the music, they have to perform a particular skill already, jumping in and out, walking and running around. So this could be a culminating activity for your students already, a sample. And then we'll move to, of course, our class does not just end with us. Sometimes we need experts to come join our class and share what they've learned, how they've acquired the skill, because, you know, exposing our students to people who are expert at a certain skill will actually inspire our students to do better. So here's an example of what I did during remote learning. I've invited a track and field athlete, but she just started during the pandemic. She was not as active as before pandemic, but during the pandemic, she decided to, and she was able to join the competition with the national team and actually got 5th place for that. So my students were really excited to share with her, ask questions with her. Actually, Coach JR was there when this happened in my class. So this is another activity that could support the skill acquisition, but this is towards the end. The foundation of the skill acquisition would still come from you, teachers.
Okay, this is like, how do we encourage or promote students' interactions with their peers? Sometimes when we have a big thing, big topic going on, it's just so challenging to, how do I finish this topic in just 8 weeks? I'm given 8 weeks to take up all of this. So one way to do this is, how do we design our huge classroom of 40 to 60 students and actually promote interaction and be able to scaffold the different things, the different parts of our lesson is to the station. We make use of the station, like designing our learning environment in such a way we can address different skill, we can introduce different topics. So in our next series of webinars, in series 3, I'll be talking about the use of a jigsaw, and I'll be presenting different station designs that you can use for PE, music, and art in the classroom. So you can maximize the 8 weeks given to you, integrating all the subjects and the skills that you'd like to teach.
Okay, so that ends the skill acquisition part. I hope it's not too much. Hindi masyadong information overload naman si Teacher Risa at si Teacher C. I hope na spark yung learning nyo as what we've shared from the prayer before, to always have the earnest desire for knowledge. I hope everyone will go home back to their classrooms on Monday with an earnest desire to learn a new knowledge or a new skill, whatever that is. So don't leave yet, because we will still be reminding you. Stay with us for the whole month of September, because today is just a starting of a learning journey for all of us, not just for Teacher C and I, but to you as well. We'll have the assessment criteria. Sinong excited sa assessment? Kahit dumudugo ang ilong natin sa assessment. And then we'll have the practice and the feedback, which is very, very important. There's 3. Wow, mahaba ito Practice, feedback, performance. 3 magkakadikit-dikit, which is very important when we do skill acquisition or when we teach skill acquisition. Di naman pwedeng tinuro lang natin, di natin binigyan ng practice, di natin binigyan ng feedback, paano i-improve, at di rin natin binigyan ng opportunity to perform. Diba? Agree, teachers? And then, of course, last but not the least, evaluation and reflection, not just for our students, but for ourselves as well. Parang, ay, paano ko nga ba naituro to? Parang kulang pala yun. Like, yung realization ko last week. Hirap na hirap yung mga student ko mag-timing ng pag-hit ng shuttlecock sa racket nila. So, habang umiikot ako, nag-iisip na ako, paano ko mai-improve yun? And I realized na kulang sila sa underhand throw. Kaya wala yung arm swing na dapat beginning stage para makakuha sila ng momentum. So parang a simple reflection na ganon will go a long way para yung success rate ng mga estudyante natin. Pag masaya mga estudyante natin sa klase dahil nagagawa nila yung gusto nating ipagawa, mas triplehan natin yung saya natin, di ba? Pagkatapos ng klase, talagang yung ngiti mo umabot-abot na sa tenga dahil lang sa nagawa nila yung pinlano nating dapat ipagawa sa kanila. Okay. So yun lang po. Do give us a follow in our YouTube channel, SharpsNFlatsED. Coach JR will share the link in the chat. Our Facebook is SharpsNFlatsED as well. It's all Sharps and Flats. So wherever you type it, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Okay, I think that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us. We are now open, I think, for live question and answer.
Yes.
Q&A na po tayo. Don't be shy.
Alright. Well, what else can we say, no? Kaya pala yung, by the way, trivia lang, no? Kaya pala yung anak ko nagpa-practice ng badminton serve, no, after ng klase dahil ang teacher niya ay si Miss RJ. Alright, that's true that's a truth. That's a fact na ang aking anak ay teacher si Miss RJ.
Yeah. Po ang mga anak niya. Sa kanila ko nakikita kung paano ako magturo. Kasi kung ano yung reaction nila, since iba po kasi yung student na kilala ka as ako teacher ng ng papa nila, at iba rin yung teacher lang talaga ang tingin sa inyo. So talagang nakakatulong. Wag tayong mawalan ng pag-asa kahit na minsan meron tayong mga moments talaga na wow, bakit pa ba ako nagtuturo? The professional learning community that you have will help you grow, and support will help you improve. Hindi po ako nag-magic na nung nag-start ako magturo, ang galing-galing ko na. At hindi ko po sinasabing magaling ako. May experience lang po ako sa tagal ng panahon ng pagtuturo ng PE na sinusubukan ko talagang mag-reflect na paano ko pa ba matutulungan yung mga estudyante ko na para pag alis nila sa klase ko, confident sila sa mga skills na natutunan nila at kayang-kaya nilang gawin nandun ako o wala ako.
Yes, I agree with that. Kasi actually, ang focus natin ngayon, but this is useful across levels, no? Sa junior high school, senior high school, at sa tertiary level. But one thing is certain, no? Lalo na yung mga nasa junior high school, senior high schools, at sa tertiary level PE, no? We really encounter students who are having difficulty because we just want them to participate into a dance, into a sport, no? But we are having a hard time them to perform the skills in order to play or to perform. And ito nga po, lumalabas yung reality that the foundation skills are not that set accordingly. That's why hindi nila makonect yung mga movements. And a point of reflection bilang isang nanonood na if we will be encountering students like that, still it's not late. We can do something through the strategies given to us by our speakers in order para itong mga kahit medyo teenager na, medyo pa-adult na, is still makakope pa rin sa mga skills because they will be encountering these physical activities na ino-offer natin all throughout their life. No? Ayan. In addition, no, Teacher Z tsaka Miss RJ, I think naghahanap ako sana ng question. Kanina pa ako nag-ask, nag-inquire sa ating mga participants because I think we can open a discussion with the questions that they will give. Wala pa akong mahanap, but I think they are really, they learn a lot through the strategies that you shared. And this is a spiral, parang math, no? Hindi natin mabubuo ang masosolve ang isang problem equation na ibibigay sa atin or problem na ibibigay sa atin kung hindi natin dadaanan ng addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So ito po yun. Kaya sinasabi ng ating mga speakers that you should be with us next Saturday because it's a spiral process until you reach the last topic and you complete the whole procedure to execute itong mga strategies na binibigay sa atin. And speaking of evaluation and assessment, it's really important. We can teach, sige, marunong ka na mag-shoot, marunong ka na mag-dance. But again, if we don't have a right evaluation tool or we're not gonna give a formative or a summative assessment and we will not let our students to reflect with the results of those assessments, then might as well na hindi kumpleto yung learning process. Kaya wag po kayong mawawala next week because our speakers will still be here. They devoted the entire September, mga Saturday na yan, para tulungan po tayo and hopefully makita at yung mga hindi po naka-attend na ating mga classmates na mga BPE students, no, yung ating mga teachers na hindi co-teachers na hindi naka-attend, you can invite them because our live session ay available naman sa YouTube itong session. All right, sige, naghahanap pa ako ng question. Any final generalization about the topic for this this episode, Miss RJ? So before we end.
So just for everyone, skill acquisition is not a one-time, big-time thing. It's development. It goes through phases and stages. Sometimes ang dali-daling ituro. Sometimes napaka-challenging. So we have to find the right formula, yung tamang timpla kung paano natin maiinganyo at mahihikayat yung mga students natin na, okay naman pala gumalaw. I'm sure may mga bata kasi ngayon na, sorry for the word, ang aarte, naka-encounter ba kayo ng mga batang, wow, talagang tinetest yung skill mo to motivate them just for them to move. Ako, hindi ako nahihirapan kasi grade school. Yung grade school talagang yung participation 1,000%. Ako na lang minsan sumusuko sa energy nila. Pero I'm sure sa inyo na mga nakakaranas, sino po sa inyo ang nakaranas ng mahirapang maghikayat sa students nila? Pwede po mag-share. I mean, pwede po kayong mag-thumbs up, mag-react, kung
Ako,
karanasan niyo po yun.
yes. Just
Of skill acquisition talaga na merong stage na difficult, challenging. And kaya yung iba ayaw mapawisan, diba?
yes.
Diba? Parang, well, I understand naman kasi syempre yung lalo na yung mga nasa puberty stage. Tapos, hindi pa sila nagpapalit sa school. Eh kung may, alam mo na, body odor and everything else, which kailangan talaga yung role natin as a teacher, explain kasi natin na our body goes through stages and changes.
Kaya may health.
Kaya may health. Kaya PE and health. So,
Yes.
yung topic ang health. Puntahan natin yan next time. Pero, mga ayaw mapawisan, I hope kahit na ayaw nilang mapawisan. Alam mo yun, yung enthusiasm pa lang ni teacher, sila na yung mahihiya na, wow, yung teacher ko, 1,000 times % yung enthusiasm. Tapos ako parang, mema lang, wala akong ginagawa. Parang ganon. So, kasi alam mo, yung na-realize ko din, with my students na ayaw talaga, sila yung talagang may may kailangan ng push. Kasi sila na nga yung dumadaan sa stage na ayaw. Ibig sabihin, consciously, meron na silang dinadamdam. So, kung hindi pa talaga, kung minsan kasi, di ba, may mga times na kung ayaw mo, di wag. Pero parang sa panahon ngayon, hindi maganda ganun yung attitude natin. Kasi mas lalo silang maiiwanan, mas lalo silang kawawa pagdating sa skill. Although yung ibang bata, sabihin nila, hindi ko naman i-apply yan sa buhay ko, mauupo lang naman ako sa opisina, something like that. Hello, you will have to climb stairs, you will have to take public transportation, things like that. So, yun lang. Salamat that you've given yourself a chance to be with us this Saturday afternoon to share your experiences skill acquisition, which is not only for PE, it's really for life.
On my end, I think we just have to all remember that skills acquisition is a process and it starts in the womb.
Yes. It's in the womb and it's nurtured by the community which we are a part of. Thank you so much sa iyo, Ma'am Juanita, kasi I'm sure I would love to be in your class kung in your 28 years hindi
in her position.
mapapasana all na lang po talaga yung ibang mga teachers. Doon naman po sa may mga teachers who's experiencing challenges or difficulty, don't give up. There's always hope.
Try lang ng try.
Yes.
Yes.
Pasalamat kayo, there's 1PhysEd, and I'm thankful na nag-partner ang SharpsNFlatsED kay Coach JR kasi we can reach more PE teachers around the Philippines. Naka Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao ba tayo today, Coach JR?
International nga. We have from Saudi pa.
Anong oras na sa Saudi ngayon? Nag-lunch break ka na ba?
Miss Jocelyn.
Thank you for partnering with us, and teachers, don't forget to partner with your parents because I think everything, even the skills building, will always start at home.
11:36 a.m. Malapit lang mag-lunch si Miss Jocelyn.
Yeah. Suki yan. Yeah. Almost all Saturdays.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you so much, Miss RJ, Teacher Z, and of course, ang Sharps and Flats Ed, for having this opportunity to partner with you. Kasi alam natin that we are a community of learners. Pwedeng may alam tayo, but matututo rin tayo sa best practices ng iba. But on a final note, as the program director of 1PhysEd.Ph, looking and talking to a lot of PE teachers around the country, you should value all those efforts that you're doing, especially the learning materials that you're doing. Why? Because kayo ang nakakaalam sa situation ng students nyo at kayo ang nagke-create ng parang ng akmang learning materials para sa kanila. I've seen sometimes that some are selling their learning materials. Well, if you will be doing that, make sure that you're not just gonna purchase that learning materials and use it in your classroom, because you have to do editing and to ensure that that's applicable to your class. So I'm not against it if that's the way how things are doing. I've seen something like that in public school groups, right? But I'm not saying that I'm against it, but make sure that you edit and make sure that that is really applicable to your class, because no, hindi po one size fits all. All right.
If you use a reference from another PE teacher, give credit. Okay?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, dapat.
Matter kahit gaano kaliit, because lahat tayo pinaghihirapan natin what we do for our students.
Yeah, and in the other countries, Miss RJ, it's okay. Like in US, they have teachers pay teachers because they value the creativity and the effort of teachers. But make sure you give credits, credit to the creator. At the same time, make sure na tarang talaga sa estudyante mo yun, hindi lang dahil yun yung pang-level na topic. All right. Sige, hindi ko na po papahabayan. Ang certificate ng ating mga speakers will be awarded sa ating last day of this series. Yeah. But before we end, syempre medyo overtime tayo pero thank you pa rin. Coach Josh, can you please make a quick share of ano bang announcement natin dyan? Dahil para at least ma-update ang ating mga participants, no? Okay. Next, Coach Josh. Some announcements po. Again, if you would like to be a premium member of 1PhysEd.Ph, okay, just kindly register through our Facebook page, no? And next, Coach Josh, bilisan na lang natin to dahil medyo overtime na tayo. Okay, there's are the benefits. And again, for those who are not yet done to mag-sign up sa ating digital library, sa ating mga premium members, kindly do so. Because we're slowly, hindi po masyadong madali, but we're doing our best na i-activate yung mga nauna natin to experience how can they utilize our learning portal. And all those benefits, of course, if you will register as premium member of 1PhysEd.Ph. Next, Coach Josh. By the way, pwede nyo pong bisitahin yung website, just in case po na wala namang pwede. Pag premium member, you can mag-log in, but of course, kahit sino pwede pa rin bumisita dun sa pinaka-general interface niya. And again, if you would like to make a difference, help our future PE teachers, or as a PE program here in our country, partner with us by purchasing via Shopee our sublimation shirt, ang ating 3rd edition nito. Anong kulay kaya ang lalabas ngayon 2022? Abangan nyo rin po yan. Next. Okay. I just want to invite everyone to visit iohsk.com because they're going to have the 5th International Conference. And yours truly, of course, I am blessed to be part of this conference with the help, of course, of the founder and CEO, Dr. Hosung So. I will be talking about optimizing the community health and fitness through physical activities. This is a partnership program of IOHSK, or the International Organization for Health, Sports, and Kinesiology. And of course, 1PhysEd.Ph. But I'm going to be presenting virtual. Next, Coach Josh. And let's play this. Hopefully, sa mga hindi pa nakita. Is it playing, Coach Josh? All right. Okay, Coach Josh, I'll just explain. Again, for the information of everyone, we are happy to inform you that 1PhysEd.Ph will be having the 2022 National PE Convention, of course, in the summer capital of the Philippines, Baguio City. This will be from December 1 to 3, 2022. They're in the teachers camp, and of course, we're partnering with some schools in order for us to conduct some of the special activities that we prepare. There are a lot of activities, a lot of opportunities, and connection that can be built through this program. So therefore, watch out for the registration, which will be released this coming week. And lastly, I think that's the Okay? And of course, connect with us to our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to our website. And we have, of course, a WhatsApp number, YouTube channel, and contact us through our email. We have 2 emails. Number 1 for the website, another for Gmail. And that's it. Okay, I think that's the last. Okay, we're gonna be sending now the link for the certificate. Okay, there you go. But before that, may I request everyone to kindly, and again, okay, sometimes I just want to apologize because sometimes medyo hati yung aking focus dahil of course yung ating mga friends na troll ay nandiyan na rin, no? Imagine ang 1PhysEd.Ph, no, ay tinotroll na din. But again, I hope that you have your understanding with regards to this matter. Therefore, ito po, isi-share na po natin ang link sa ating YouTube. Pwede na po kayong mag-generate ng inyong certificate of attendance pa lamang po. Sa end pa po yung certificate of completion. And before we end, of course, I would like to request a photo opportunity for a thank you post sa ating mga participants. Therefore, turn on your camera right now. Hi, Sir Francis, Sir Dave, I can see you there. Saan man po kayo? Miss Liberty, Sir Mark, I think I talked to you, Sir Mark, sometime weeks ago, right? Via call, all right? Yon, ang sarap ng pakiramdam pag nakikita yung ating mga participants, how much more if it's physical na talaga. Hi, Sir John, yeah, Sir Jay, and sa iba pa, hindi ko man ma-mention, madaming nag-turn on ng camera. May I request, okay, everyone to please turn on your camera. Nakakatuwa, puro PE teachers to or future PE teachers. We're so happy. Ito lang, rewarding na sa amin. Alright? Sa ating first, first group, ready? Smile lang po ng smile muna. Coach Josh, can you help me? Coach Josh? Are you
Sure,
there?
Coach. Go lang.
Sige. Dalawa tayo para hindi lahat makuha natin.
Okay, I'll start.
Panel 1, smile.
1, 2, 3, smile.
Panel 2, smile.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Panel 3, meron pa ba?
Dami, no?
Alright, that's it.
Alright, sige, may feedback tayo dito. Okay, wait lang po, wag muna kayong aalis. But again, maraming salamat sa pagsama sa amin sa hapon na to. We're just gonna be checking this Google form. Okay, nilak ko muna kanina. Okay, you may now click again the link and see if it's working. Sige po, pwede po pakiclick ulit ang link natin. Not accepting daw. I'll just try again.
Attendance link, Coach. The first one sent.
Okay. My bad. Don't go because I'll send the link. All right. Another link. Ito ay episode 94 na pala. Sorry. What I sent is episode 93. My bad. All right. There you go. Please confirm if you can access the certificate. That's a big help already. Okay. Meron na po. Wait lang sa ating mga nasa YouTube. I'm about to send it now. Sa ating mga nasa YouTube, episode 94. See, Miss RJ, pag one-man army, no? Multitasking. By the way, kasama natin dito si Coach Josh. All right. There you go. Yan. Thank you, Sir Francis and Miss Lori for confirming. Hoping you can get your certificate of attendance for today. Also for ating sa YouTube. All right. Thank you, Coots Mike C. All right. By the way, again, guys, this program, you can file this as self-directed. I don't know. I'm not so sure with the concrete procedure of that. But again, hopefully you can use this when you renew your license. But this is not a submitted approved CPD program. All right. This is for self-directed learning. All right. There you go. Thank you so much. And once again, this is another Saturday we experienced together with our speakers. And of course, I would like to thank Miss RJ, Teacher Z, and all the participants here via Zoom and via YouTube. I would like to see you next week because we're going to learn so much through our speaker. Thank you and God bless everyone.
God bless. To give us a follow in YouTube.
Yeah, like, follow and share Sharps and Flats Ed. Sir John, Okay, Sir John, can you give me a PM, okay, personal message to my Facebook Messenger? Siguro you're sending message but I can't see it. All right.
Okay
My
po, yes
pleasure,
po,
my
sir.
pleasure. Welcome,
Thank
Sir
you po, sir.
John. Right. Okay, last
Sir-
30 seconds for the
Sir,
rest.
sa Facebook
Okay.
page din po. Sa Facebook page din po.
If you can send me a message through my personal messenger. Baka sa page ka hindi pa na forward sa akin.
Coach JR is asking, completion of the series is at the end of September.
Yeah.